Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start our new chapter. So let's talk a little bit about the idea of this chapter. Okay. So whenever we go for a walk in our surroundings, we had come across many things, isn't it? We have observed that each and everything there shows its different character, isn't it? Like some of them will talk, some of them will not talk, some of them can run with us, but some of them cannot, isn't it? Some of them will be in its position for thousands of years if we are not going to disturb it, isn't it? That means they can't move. But where some of them are also there, that they will start moving with us whenever they want. So that means we will see many things are there, like some of them are living and some of them are non-living, isn't it? So each of them have their different characteristics. So I hope you got the idea of the chapter that we are going to talk about. The name of the chapter is Characteristics of Living Things. So students, in living organisms, we will see many characteristics are there which differs them from the non-living organisms. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about them. So which one is the first one? That is the cellular organization present in between them. Okay, so they have cellular organization in them. What that means actually, cellular organization? That means all the living bodies are made of cells. The only difference is what? That some of them are made of single cells, which are called unicellular organisms. For example, I can say like amoeba is present, and again some of them are exactly they are made of more than one cells exactly. So they are known as multicellular organisms. So in multicellular organisms, they have like different organs to for different purpose about it. Okay, suppose if I'm going to say you about, take example for humans only, that we have different organs, isn't it? But amoeba, they don't have any organs to make, like they don't have a lot of cells to form organs. So that is the main difference between them, the cellular organization. Okay, our next characteristic of living being is the nutrition. Now we all know that we need to food that we need food to survive, isn't it? There are many ways to get the food, like we get food from others, but plant make their food of their own. So keep in mind that the living ones who make their food by their own are called autotrophs or autotrophic, like plant, isn't it? And those who can't make their food by their own are called heterotrophs or heterotrophic in nature, like us and animals. So our next characteristic is very important, that is the respiration. Okay, so what does this means? In physiology, respiration is the movement of oxygen from the outside environment to the cells, okay, within the tissues especially, and the transport of carbon dioxide is in the opposite direction. So what I said, that it is nothing else, just the movement of oxygen from the outside environment towards the cells of the body. It generally takes place in two stages, keep in mind. First one, that is the external respiration, another one, that is the internal respiration. Okay, so what happens in external respiration? You see there, in external respiration, exchange of gases occurs between environment and the body. Okay, what I said you, it always happens between the environment and the body. In this process, oxygen is taken in our body and carbon dioxide gas is always given out. It is nothing else, just our breathing, isn't it? Just remind that what we have like talked in class, that we what gas we take in, it is only the oxygen one, and what gas we just give out, it is the carbon dioxide gas one. So it is nothing else, just the external respiration, or you can say the breathing one. Okay, so if I talk about the internal respiration one, it is actually the breakdown of food within the cells. So don't be worried about it. What I said you, it is nothing else, just the breakdown of food within the cells to release energy. Okay, the oxygen that is taken in during the external respiration or breathing breaks down the food to produce energy. That means whatever food that we are taking in, those oxygens actually they break down, they help to break down the foods that we have taken in. This energy is used to carry out various life processes, various functions for every animals. In this process, carbon dioxide gas is given out. Students, keep in mind that internal respiration is common for everyone. What I said you, that internal respiration happens everywhere same. But where is the difference exactly? The difference is in external respiration. External respiration occurs in different ways to different organisms. Okay, like plants breathe through the pores present on their lips. Fish use their gills. Amphibians are there, such as frogs and salamanders, use their lungs and the moist skin to breathe. Okay, earthworms also present. Earthworms also use their skin to breathe. If I say about you the insects, the tiny insects, they have special openings called spiracles. What you have to keep in mind the name, that spiracles, which are present on the side of their bodies to breathe. Okay, and animals like crocodiles, alligators, cows, dogs, cats, humans are there, they breathe through their lungs. Okay, our next topic is excretion. Okay, so whenever we eat something or we breathe, a large number of waste materials are produced, isn't it, inside our body. They are of no use in our body and have to be excreted anyhow. If we haven't taken out these materials, no, from our body, it will become toxic, and what it will do, it will start damaging our cells. So let's check it out, how excretion happens, how urine is formed, and how feces is formed in our body. Okay, when proteins are broken down in the body, different types of things like ammonia, urea, uric acid are produced. These waste materials are taken away from the body as urine. Okay, during the digestion again, the undigested food particles are there, no? So the undigested food particles are eliminated as feces. So what are those feces? They are exactly the undigested food particles. Again, in breathing we also do the same, like the unwanted substance, which one is, that is the carbon dioxide gas. It is excreted through respiration. Again, like when our body have extra salt, so how does we excrete this one? Through our, like, sweat that is present, no? So through this sweat we lose our extra salt from there. This is for our, like, animals are present and human bodies are there, isn't it? So what about plants? How do they do the excretion? So plants also have the excretion process, but they do not have special organs like us or any other animals. So how they will do that? You just keep in mind that during the photosynthesis they produce oxygen as a byproduct, which are released to the environment through stomata of their leaves. They are present, no? I have also talked about the transpiration, isn't it? The transpiration process, in which in our earlier classes, where they will be able to take away their excess amount of water from their leaves. Okay, sometimes what happens, the leaves that fall down, no, they also contain waste products, like they also take away some amount of sap, latex, resins, and gum as waste materials from our body. So, our next topic is reproduction, through which we all are here. It is the ability to produce or reproduce offspring, by which any species in this earth exists. Okay, there are two ways, you can say two methods are also there to reproduce an offspring. Okay, so first one, that is the sexual reproduction, and another one, that is the asexual one. So first of all we are going to talk about the sexual reproduction. Now, sexual reproduction, in which new organisms are created by combining two genetic information from two individuals of different sexes. Now, what is the different sexes? That is first one, that is the male one, another one, that is the female. So that means in sexual reproduction we are going to need two parents. First one, it should be a male, and another one, it should be a female. Now, the offspring or organisms produced in this process have features from both mother and father. Okay, in sexual reproduction, male parent produces sperm and female parent produces the egg. When the sperm and the egg combines, they produce new organism. This happens in generally all the animals including human. The new organisms development take place inside the mother's body or sometimes outside also. Okay, some of them lay eggs or some of them give birth to young ones. There is another mode of reproduction that is known as asexual reproduction. You must have seen the formation of potatoes and onions developing into new plant when they are left outside. Okay, um, you also have seen to grow the mango tree from a mango seed, isn't it? So these are what? These are through asexual reproduction, where one parent information involves. That means here, unlike the sexual one where the male and female one it is needed, in asexual there is no need of two parents. Okay, in this only one parent's information involves to make a new individual of the same species. So our next topic is the movement one. So that is very common for everyone that we all move, including animals, birds, insects, from place to place for many reasons, isn't it? Such as for food, shelter, etc., etc. You know, that plants also show movement. I guess you all are surprised that how plants will show movement. Don't be. They show movement towards sunlight. You have seen, no, like sunflower is there because it changes its direction always towards the sun. Some flowers are there which open their petals. Haven't you seen, like in the daytime they just open their petals but they close in the evening time? I'm saying you, like algae such as Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra, they will show the movement as a whole. Okay, if you find some time out there, just see that about the Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra, you will see the movement of the plant out there. Okay, so the next characteristic is the growth and the development. Okay, so we all know that all the living organisms always show growth and development at some extent, isn't it? Organisms grow by producing new cells. If I'm going to show you the definition of this one, that the growth is defined as an increase in size and mass of an organisms, where in development the parts of the organisms form shapes, they become mature, and they work their function according to their roles. So our next characteristic is the response to stimuli. Now, what is this response and stimuli means here? The answer is any change in an organism's environment that causes it to react is called stimulus. Okay. Again, I am saying that any change in an organism's environment that causes it to react is called a stimulus. And we all know that towards any change in our body, in our environment, our body will 100% give a reaction, and hence how the organisms reacts and brings out a change in its behavior is called a response. Okay, so I'm just giving you one example. From that example it will be very easy to understand. Okay, just a simple example. Suppose you are thirsty and you want to drink water. So what will you do? You will drink water, isn't it? So being thirsty is the stimuli, and what are you going to do? You will drink water. So the drinking water is the response towards the environment. Okay, sometimes like plants also show respond to the environment as it bend towards the sunlight or light source. It is actually called the phototropism, and their movement towards soil is called geotropism. Just keep in mind, these are the very important keywords for your examination purpose. Okay, I have told you about the touch me not flower, isn't it? That it folds when someone touches them. This movement is called nasticcism. Just keep in mind what I said you, that this movement is called nasticcism. Our next and the final part of this chapter is the definite lifespan. Okay, so what is a definite lifespan now? Lifespan is the period of time that an organism is expected to live. Now, some of the organisms are there, they have too small lifespan. Some of them have greater. For example, if I'm going to say you that like bacterias and some insects, they have just a couple of hours to live, where the bristlecone pine tree has the longest lifespan, okay, of about 5,500 years. Can you imagine? And after all, every organisms eventually dies, isn't it? That everything, when their lifespan will be completed, they will eventually dies. For everyone, it is for everyone, and at the end of its life cycle. So, students, by this we have completed our chapter. I hope you understand and enjoyed the chapter. If you have any doubt, just ask me in the group. Okay, thank you.